Welcome back to Stooge Stream for another episode. I am your host, the Stooge, and today we're looking at the top 5 Vita games in my collection. Yes, I'm a huge fan of the PS Vita. I've had it since launch. I think it is quite literally the best handheld console ever made. Visually, it far surpasses anything that Nintendo puts out. Having dual analog sticks means that the actual control setup is fantastic. The buttons feel great. The quality of the games are spectacular. And it's a real shame that not as many people picked up this system as they should have. Kind of like the PSP in its time. But that's not why we're here. We're here to look at my 5 favorite games on the PS Vita. Now, as you can see, I've moved my Vita collection here, just so you can see them. I'm actually going to be picking up, I believe, 2 or 3 more games next week, some imports. But at this point in time, let's start with number 5. Ragnarok Odyssey. This is an amazing RPG that feels very, very much like an MMO. You can play up to 4 players, I believe, 2 to 4 players ad hoc. It's a dungeon crawler. It's a really great single-player experience with a huge amount of hours, lots of different classes, lots of different weapons. I just can't say enough about how fun this game really is. Is it the greatest RPG ever made? No! Is it a great RPG? Yes, and it's definitely one you should check out. I believe this may have come out on the PS3 as well. How can you have a Vita list without an Atlas title? Yes, it's Odin Sphere. Just a great hack and slash game. Like, it's got your RPG elements, it's got your lots of different things you can do, and I've actually got this and the PS4 version, and damn, is this just a fun hack and slash 2.5D-ish game. Like, the characters are 3D sprites, but the backgrounds are 2D-ish. Just a brilliant job by Atlas, and I'm so happy that they re-released this so more and more people can actually get their hands on this title and enjoy it. If you like hack and slash games, if you like that building up your characters and hack and slash RPG style game, I should say, you're really, really, really going to like this. And it's recommended that you get either this or the PS4 version because they fixed up the controls and added in a bunch of new stuff. Oops. Number 3! Earth Defense Force 2. This is brilliant. So I've got most of the Earth Defense Force games. I've got the latest one on PS4. I've got Earth Defense Force Portable 1 and 2 on PSP. The 360 one, the PS3 one, and Earth Defense Force 2 for the Vita. If you like shooty, 3D, just fun arcade-style games, you will love this game. And there are so many hours of gameplay in this, so many levels to unlock, so many weapons and things to find. You can upgrade your characters. You've got 3 different characters to use that all handle very differently and use different weapons. This is a must-own for any system that you can get it on. Anyone, any version of this game on any system is amazing. Whoops. The cases on these things suck though. Alright, number 2. One that I just bought on impulse. I was like, oh, okay, this could be good. We'll check it out. And it is Freedom Wars. This is another great RPG. So the point of this is you have, you're in jail in the future. Kind of everyone is, and you've got to work off your sentence by doing missions for the government. It's a giant monster hunting style RPG. It's so rich and so deep. There is so much going on in this game. It's absolutely crazy. I can't even explain it to, if I had an hour to sit here and kind of break down everything that happens in this. There is a ridiculous amount of gameplay in it. There's a lot of fun. It's action RPG, so, you know, real-time action. I just can't recommend this game enough, and I don't ever hear anyone talking about it. Like, this is a fantastic title that should be in anyone's Vita collection. Just a great RPG. It almost feels like you're never going to be able to finish the game, if that makes sense. You can, clearly, but it feels that way because it makes you feel like you're in servitude for so long, and every time you do something wrong, you're adding days and hours and years to your sentence, and when you do stuff right, it's taken away from your sentence, and you're getting more privileges. Like, at first you can't leave your cell, and then eventually you're allowed to walk around on your level because you've got that privilege because you've been good. And then you can walk around the whole prison, and it just keeps opening and opening. You get more missions that are bigger and harder and more rewards and things. And it's just a really great reward system and gameplay loop in this. You really should check it out. Freedom Wars is a great title. And number 1. This is another one that I bought on impulse. I was like, man, it looks cool. I like RPGs. We'll give it a go. Why not? And I pretty much buy anything that has Rising Star games on it because they're usually pretty decent. Sorcery Saga, The Curse of the Curry God. This has to be one of the quirkiest, weirdest, and most fun RPGs I've ever played. Sorcery Saga, Curse of the Curry God kind of tells you what it is. You're playing an RPG about cooking curry to appease a god. And you've got to go into dungeons and dungeon crawl and do the RPG things to get better recipes and ingredients and stuff so you can cook better curry. No, this is for real. I'm not kidding you. On top of that, it's got a really interesting gameplay mechanic, which has a pet, a la your Pokemon. You look after your pet, rah rah. But the movement mechanic in the game itself is very different. It's almost like a turn-based tactical game with a turn-based RPG with real-time movement and a Pokemon leveling up pet system. None of that kind of makes sense if I describe it to you, but trust me when I say it all works really fluidly and really well. This is an amazing fun title that no one talks about. I know it's got a weird name and it seems very out there and very quirky, but the story is so quirky and so fun, you kind of start getting into it very quickly. The gameplay and the dungeons and all of that are really fun, and you get into them very quickly. The gameplay loop and the RPG mechanics and the action and the movement is so unique. It really is. Like, you have to play it. It is a tactical movement system, but they've changed it and done and tweaked this and made things a little bit different. So the movement in this game is really unique and makes it stand out. It's its own thing, even though it steals elements from other things. This is a really highly recommended game. If you just like quirky import RPGs, you are going to go gaga over this game. It is spectacular. Graphically, it looks great, it sounds great, it plays great, and no one talks about it. I have put stupid amount of hours into this game, so I haven't actually finished it because I've got way too many games, but I will get around to it one day. But honestly, I cannot highly recommend playing this game enough. So let me just lay these out. There we go. So thank you so much for watching. That was the top 5 Vita games in my collection, the ones I personally like the most. It's not the rarest, it's not the most expensive games, it's not the hardest to find, it's not the best games, it's the ones that I personally like the most. I hope you've enjoyed this. Are you a Vita collector? Let me know below. What are the top 5 Vita games in your collection? I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, don't forget, adventure, excitement, Stooge craves not these things. Welcome to the Stooge Revolution!